Hello, viewers. I welcome you back to another episode of Speak Your Mind, the Judgment Free Zone, a platform that gives you your dose of mental health content and also brings smiles to your face. Music is a therapy, and today we are going to tell you how music works as a therapy when you use it in the right manner with special reference to kids. Joining us today, we have my mentor, the first music therapist that I ever met, a profound researcher, a psychology counselor, and an educator, and also probably the kindest soul that I know. And the list goes on and on. So I'll take a pause there and welcome Gitashree ma'am, our guest speaker of the day. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, dear. Thank you for your kind words. Good to see you after long 2 years.
Yes, ma'am. I was coming there only that we are seeing each other almost after 2 years, that too on a virtual platform.
Virtual
So,
platform, yes.
how have you been, ma'am?
I have been good these days. Yeah, I'm working. Pandemic has been a little boon to me. I have been getting better time to work with children. At least reaching out to some children, not only those who come to me for counseling, but also to some Telangana government school childrens also. So yeah, it has helped me to reach out many children through many peoples, obviously connected to many peoples.
You're always doing good deed, ma'am, and especially working with kids. So yes, that's why this entire webinar is in special reference with kids as well. So glad to know that this time you have made the most of it. So our today's talk show is all about music, and I think we all love music. If our viewers agree on the same, they can leave their favorite emoticon in the comments below. Music is like a sweet escape. It is a paradise. It is a secret gateway. It is a zen zone, whatever you want to call it. But it just makes you feel better. No wonder even mental health professionals could not resist. And now we have been using music as a therapy for people. But a lot of people aren't aware that how you can use music as therapy. And ma'am, you being a trained music therapist, I request you to share with our viewers more about music therapy and of course some ways how they can apply the same to their life.
If I have to say about music therapy, let me not go into definitions, but what is music therapy is music is such a beautiful medium to channelize so many emotions and feelings through it. So this is in simple words I can tell this, and I think this will be very much applicable to people also. They understand, so any emotion, be it anger, be it love, be it irritation or something related to today's scenario, so that can easily be channelized through this medium of music. And if you ask me the ways of applying music in current time, so you can listen to music. So we actually divide music therapy into many types, but broad division is active music therapy and passive music therapy. Now active music therapy is where I and the therapist and the client together uses musical instruments, so that gives more more, the result comes out in lesser time and in a broader view. Whereas if it is passive music therapy, obviously it gives good results only, but it takes little time. Passive music therapy is nothing but listening to music. Might be I will be playing an instrument or a recorded version of music, and they will be listening to it. Now if you ask me ways of music therapy, I would say in today's scenario in the house, what you can do is you can listen to music through your mobile or any app which you have, or through any device. So you all are younger generation, you will be knowing more about gadgets and all. I'm little novice in that case, but yes, any sort of gadget which gives you a good quality of sound can be used for listening to music. Now what type of music will you listen is the next point which we come to, because when I ask people to listen to music, they'll ask me what music shall we listen. So if you are not going through any problem, you can listen to your choice of music. But yes, any sound which has a lot of rhythm does not give you too much comfort. It gives you, yes, happiness. It gives you some peppy sort of feeling inside, but it doesn't gives you the relief, the calmness, that coolness that can come from music or sound which are of little low notations. That is what we say, romantic musics, what we say. I'm little, I'm not asking you to listen to sad musics at this point of time. It is better not to listen, because again, lyrical music has a different approach, and non-lyrical. Now lyrical musics are obviously what we listen with songs embedded in it, whereas musical instrumental musics will not help you to go away with the feelings. It will have a different ambience. Obviously the music created will have certain emotions in it, but since the words are not there, so brain actively will not catch those things, and hence you will not flow away so quickly. You will get time to settle down and slowly get into it and then sail with it. So I will suggest three processes which people can follow now. Firstly is listening through any gadget or any medium of music. Secondly, they can opt to take up any instrumental music, learn it, and play it in their spare time, anything. And nowadays, if you purchase an ukulele or a guitar, you can learn through YouTube also. Just to keep yourself engaged. It's not I'm telling to become a professional, then you need a proper mentor. But if you want to engage yourself into music, this can be a good form of therapy for you. And the third one is, if you really want to get good therapy for yourself in case of music, then you can contact a music therapist, or you can contact any counselor who works with music. There are many counselors now who have started working with music. They might not be registered music therapists, but they can also help you in certain cases. And the effect of music therapy, what I have found in last 10 years, is maximum positive only.
Yes.
We hardly get any negative feedback when we apply music.
I remember when I was there in Kolkata taking my, when we were having our workshop, and sir legit showed us the video where he was operating a person without anesthesia, and on one side of the body, and on the other side just music was being played, passive music. They both were engaged, and I couldn't believe it. But because now I've seen it, uh, and I've practiced it myself in the hospital setting with you all. So, now I believe that yes, music does take not just the mental but also the physical pain away. So, that is one of the benefit. And thank you so much for being so descriptive about what kind of music works. And I can totally relate when we are having words, music with lyrics, it, takes you to a zone of imagination. But when there is no lyrics, like there are no lyrics, you have to build your own world, and that takes time to build a castle without lyrics. So yes, relatable. So ma'am, this brings to my next question. Although I've covered some its and bits of it, but what are the key benefits of music as a therapy and music in general? Because sometimes we are listening to music and we are being scolded, but so is there like too much music, too less of music, and what are the benefits of music therapy or listening to music in general?
We all are born with the ability of relating and responding to music from the very much day when we come to this earth. So the lullabies which your mother sing, or the way how the nurse takes care of you, so it's through music only. She'll do some sound through mouth. Or your mama also, when she takes the child on the hand, she goes through music only. So that is the first form which we actually listen. It's not anything in a sentence, it's obviously sounds which we listen and we start relating to it. So that's what in Indian, if you read Quran or Upanishad, it tells that those are the things which actually human beings start relating first. So we relate to music first and words later. So what I have noticed in my this tenure of journey for last 35 years is that music has helped me a lot to overcome many distress. So it might be a difficulty in my personal life, a difficulty in my professional life, a difficulty with my own child. So it has always helped me to overcome it. Now, as you were asking me whether too much music or too less music, because when children start listening to music, I have parents coming to me telling me she always listens to music and she doesn't focus.
Yes.
So we did a small research when in my first phase of when I was learning music therapy in schools. I did the research with some 30 to 50 children, and effect of music and mathematics was my paper. So they were actually very uh, weak in that subject, or rather I would say they were not able to cope with some of the concepts. So we tried to relate it with music, and when we started doing in such a way, I won't say they received huge score, but yes, they could pass the subject well, and they started loving the subject. That was my first goal actually. I never focus on the marks. I wanted to focus on whether they start loving the subject or not. So when I took feedback from the teacher said yes, they have started focusing, they're at least listening to what I write on, what I say and what I write on the board. So that was a positive feedback for me. And how I started the session was, we used to start with the music, then I used to read the word problems for them through a story, and it used to have music in between, or we used to jump and understand, we used to do some movements. So it was full fun. So maths became fun for them, and when it became fun for them, they started loving the subject. So my research became had a very positive result with very less. It was a pilot study actually, with very less children involved in it. But yes, it has also helped many children to focus more, because if you observe the brain, the two portions which activates with music helps us not only to memorize but also to retain the memory, retain capacity increases. Now, I suggest many children who come to me for hyperactivity to go for music classes. And once they start going to music classes, there is a huge difference in their, activity. With my own child also, I have seen. When she started learning Hindustani classical, her hyperactivity came down a bit. She started concentrating. Previously, it was very difficult for her to sit at one place for more than 10 to 15 minutes. Now, in a class, you have to sit for a longer time. So, that was very difficult for her, which came down with this application of music through learning classical music. Now, classical music has a different effect also on the brain. So, that will be a different discussion. So, if I say these are the different aspects where we can focus and we can introduce music into our kids life, and hence it will give them. So it is not like listening more music or less music, but yes, listening music having good application. Now some children will also listen to music while writing notes.
Mm.
Let them listen. I always suggest instrumental again. I always tell children, go for instrumental, because when you listen to songs again you will flow. So one sad song, you will be thinking, oh, that heroine was doing that, that hero was somewhere standing there. So those things will start coming to your mind. But if it is instrumental, it will not come to your mind, and you will listen to it also. So brain will become too active also, doing two things at a time. So in this way, what I always suggest is instrumental music. I keep it little up in my list. Little lesser is the lyrical music.
So overall, we can say that kids and like people in general can benefit when they're listening to music because they can concentrate. I can relate because when I used to prepare for my exams, especially when I was writing notes, I used to play music. I used to come and knock at my study room door, and just be like, "Are you really studying or are you listening to music?" And I was like, "I'm doing both the work together because it helps me concentrate." So yes, and it improves the focus too. So I can
it, it
relate.
also it also changes the mood. It helps in gaining attention. So there are many more, like it helps you to express feelings. When you are playing an instrument, it helps you to express your feelings. So I have come across very renowned musicians, and when I spoke to them, they all say whenever they are sad, they will play the musical instrument. So we have this hormone secretion also. So good hormones start secreting. As a result, they can channelize their emotions very well.
Okay, nice. So mood upliftment adds to the list of these benefits. Nice. Ma'am, although you have already covered that, you should be listening more to the instrumental music as compared to the lyrical aspect, because,
Yes.
it takes you away, which I agree with. So, apart from it, is there any specific genre of music that you would suggest? Like you touched upon the classical aspect, that yes, that improves the focus. So, any more input on what
What
kind
I
of
feel,
music?
yeah, what I feel is application of music change with place. Now, when I was working in Kolkata, I used to focus more on Bengali music, more on folk music, more on bhatialis, like those which are sung by sailors, or baul music. There's one sung by this group of baul, or the people who are dressed up. You would have come across this baul songs. Now it's very famous. This Hindi song is there, no? This I am forgetting the name of the movie. Usually I'll not watch movie, so I'm not able to recollect. But Montare, one song is there, no, by Swanand Kirkire, where he uses this baul form of music. So I used to use those genres of music when I was in Kolkata. Once I shifted to the South India here in Hyderabad, so my application of music has also changed. So here, if I am trying to apply Ravindra Sangeet also, I have to apply it in an instrumental form, and it is working well. Same song with lyrics worked well in Kolkata, whereas same song only instrumental is working fine here. But if I put the lyrics, people start caring with the words, and hence they don't understand anything. But when I put this only the instrumental, they often ask me, ma'am, what is the song, from where did you get it? And it's a very common song actually. So that's what the magic lies in the instrumental music, is what I felt in my 10 years of work. Apart from that, even here I can apply more of classical music, because classical music again doesn't have any boundary. Like it is not bounded with any language. Saregama Padhanisa is nothing but sound. So I'll make a mixture of all this and apply it. So when I make a mixture of it and apply on this autistic children, those who are on the spectrum, it is working really well with them, especially with articulation, with speech problems. It is coming out well, and we tell this process as rhythmic auditory stimulation. So this stimulation we do through those, even with the talams, the tals which we give. So different tals are there in classical music, Hindustani classical also, and in Carnatic classical also. So I'm trying to learn Carnatic classical now, so that I can help this group of people well, and I'm learning their language also, Telugu, so that I can connect with children more, because children, when they are in the initial phase, they will not speak in English, they want to speak in their mother tongue, and hence I should know the local language to get connected with the child. So yes, these are the things which depends according to, again, if I travel to your place, so
Yes.
I have to start working again. See, my classical music will work there also well, but in case of music, I will very nicely walk away with the instrumental, and I know I will be successful using it, because I have been successful last 10 years. Same music what I used there, what I used here, and what I was using in Delhi also. So it goes on well, just because it doesn't have the lyrics. If I put the Bengali lyrics in it, people will think, oh, this song I don't understand. Similar as what my reaction come when I listen to a Tamil or a Telugu song. I don't understand. Because I try to find the meaning of the words, but if it is instrumental, I'll not try to find.
It happened with
So
us.
that is how. Yes.
Yes, ma'am. When we were there for the internship, the language was a barrier. So what we used to do was we just used to play the instrument, so that we could
Yes.
connect with the patient, ask little bit. So
Even we
yes,
used to search, some non-Bengali patient
yes,
for you,
yes,
so
ma'am.
that it becomes, or a patient who can understand Hindi or can communicate with you or with English. So that's the barrier which music doesn't have, is what I feel. But yes, again, the genre of music differs. If I start, if I go someday, if I go to a foreign country, if I go to Abu Dhabi, I have to start searching something relating to their music also,
Yes,
and then working on it, because then I can relate to the clients very well, is what I feel.
So as a therapist, you actually have to work with, the rapport building. Perhaps you have to understand the meaning. But if we are listening it on our individual levels, depending on where we are placed and what kind of music we listen, what language is more comprehensible for us, still we should actually opt for the instrumental music so that, you know,
Instrumental music actually gives us the result, as I told you,
yeah.
a very positive result. And it's not fluctuating, it's very much steady result which we get in research also.
Okay. So my next question, again, you have covered it in its and bits in more details as well by sharing your personal study. You made it even more amazing of an output from your side. So I was about to ask that, what are the do's and don'ts that one should follow while applying music to their life, not just as a time pass, just as a background thing, but also, to uplift their mood, to improve their focus. So if there are certain do's and don'ts, and especially in reference to kids, and plus, I believe exams are coming up, so they can use the tips that you will be sharing with us. So, how they can actually use it as a coping strategy for themselves.
So we were discussing about this scenario and how I can suggest children with some coping strategy during this examination. First thing I would like to tell children that it's better if you can keep yourself from away from the gadgets as much as you can when you sit down for studies. Keep the gadget in some other place, not in the room itself where you are studying. And you try to, if you want the application of music when you are doing some written work or mathematics or anything, you put it as I told you, take the usage of this speaker, the Bluetooth speaker. So let the speaker be with you but the gadget be somewhere else, if it is a mobile or an iPhone or an iPad or a tab, because distractions are so much among children that they are not able to control themselves. And hence if I ask you to listen music will be less, and surfing will be more. So that can be that can help children to come out of this problem of getting distracted. And when you sit down, I would always suggest, if you are writing something, listen to instrumental music. And yes, when you are studying something, don't study for long hours, 1 hour 2 hour at a stretch. In between 30 to 40 minutes you take a break, especially after 20 minutes. If you can take, it will be best, but it's okay if you take after 30 to 40 minutes. So it's a chunking method, you chunk your time. And when you are taking a break of 5 to 10 minutes, no looking into the gadgets again anymore, because you are getting distracted. The brain, which was so much active in getting information and also storing it, will again become more active with the screens and colors. So it is better, what you do is you can listen to music in this time. I don't know how many of you are listening to radios, but I think radio is the best form of listening to music, because there you can listen to a music, whereas you need not to go on surfing in the YouTube or somewhere to search music. We start searching music and we end up searching something else, and hence instead of 5 minutes time which I took a break, it will become 15 minutes. So that should not happen. So to keep a pause to that, I think this thing will help. Or you can listen to a recording, you can download it, keep certain 5 to 10 sorts of music or songs. You can listen songs also this time, so you can listen to one song in one break. So that will give you more relief, and the brain will also get little rejuvenated, and it will be ready to accept more information which you are going to push it into the brain after some time. So long stretch of studies I don't suggest. It's better to go for short period and a break in between, so that your brain also gets rest and it is ready to get information also. So these two strategies you can follow. And what I feel is, before examinations, if you can listen to very calm music, especially om chanting, or something which makes you very calm and quiet when you are eating, that helps you a lot to take hold of your anxiety. Some people usually go through anxiety when they are going to write exams, but even their palms get wet, they sweat a lot. And there are many other forms of anxiety which children go through. To little reduce it, so you can take this, so that what will happen is your brain will be calm, your body will be calm, and hence om chanting or any other music which makes you relax. You have nowadays this nature calling one music where the waterfall sound is coming, then you have the wind blowing, those sounds are there. You have this Tibetan music also, very good, so you can go for that. And what I always suggest along with music, I always tell to go for movements. So if you can practice tai chi, something called tai chi is there. It's a form of meditative martial art form of China. Tai chi is of China only, I think. So this form of this form of exercises, if you do, it gives you lot of relief to the body and to the mind. Hence you will be very relieved when you are sitting down to write the examination in this phase where children are going through lot of anxiety, is what I feel.
Thank you, ma'am. Like, I'm definitely going to apply these tips next time when I am appearing for an exam. Because when you talk of chanting, I think that's a very nice point you have put forward. Because even sitting, I'm a passive, I was an active Buddhism practitioner, but now I'm a little passive. But still, sometimes I just, like before sitting for exam, or when I know that even before recordings or anything, when I feel anxious, I just close my eyes and I just start chanting Namyo Renge Kyo. So I can relate. And my sister, she's a big time Shiv Bhakt, so she chants Om every time she is in that situation. So yes, the chanting is of course music to your ears, and it does help calm down my anxiety.
It's very nice. Actually, I do this too. I practice this Buddhism. So
Oh,
it's
nice.
really maturing Buddhism. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Same. Yes. So
I
we.
do practice it. I also like this form of Zen Buddhism, which these books are there by Thich Nhat. No?
Yes, ma'am.
So they throw a lot of light, and it's very interesting if you read those books.
Yes, ma'am.
Helps you a lot.
True.
Start practicing
Right.
soon.
Yes,
That's a
ma'am.
beautiful
But
practice.
I hope that parents who are watching it or kids who are watching it who are having their exams coming, they can definitely make note of whatever ma'am has shared right now, because these are practical points. And ma'am, I think the study that you did, it also aligns with it, that the bacha might also start liking the subject.
Is actually what I feel is with this pandemic situation, when the schools are going on, if each and every school can put music before and after every class, what I say is a hi-fi song and a bye-bye song. So when you came inside, so it's a high song. So they gave me a high song and they start singing it. And when they leave my class, they used to do a bye-bye song. So our song, bye-bye song used to be with the concept, whatever we learned. If it is like HCF, LCM, whatever was in the 5th or 6th grade, I cannot recollect now. It was 10 years back.
Okay.
So we used to focus on, we used to make a song quickly with 3-4 lines with some music, and we used to bang the bench and sing it when they used to leave. So, a high song and a bye song helps a lot to the child, and they get ready. When I say the high song, they're very much ready with concentration for the class, and a bye bye song, they're all ready to leave me and run away. So that helps. So I think in this pandemic, when the children are not able to come to the schools, so this form, if the teachers and the school institutions start using, they will find it little interesting, because always looking into the screen and studying is little boring for the children now. So this form, if any one can implement it, I think it will go on well for the children. They'll start and it becomes creative also when you have to write 4 lines according to the concept which you are learning that day. So it increases the capacity of the brain to think also.
I'll also try to end our today's webinar with a bye-bye song. So I'll try to write few lines. Pardon me if I sing very bad, because I'm not very good with music, but
Sure.
you can sing along with me. So I'll try to write few lines before I, ask you the next question. So while you're giving the answer, I'll work on my lines. So yes, ma'am. While doing my research on music therapy and learning that how music can be used, I saw a pattern in the research and in the news and in the blogs that I was reading. And that pattern or that finding basically was that I can't number them down because there were many, many studies, but this constantly were showing that COVID 19 and mental health, music has worked effectively to help people cope with the drawbacks in their mental health or the challenges they faced in their mental and physical and emotional health aspects during COVID time with the help of music. So, what's your take on it? Because we have studied that we are just talking that okay, kids are also facing issues, everything has turned online. But I also want you to touch upon that how people who are facing the COVID 19 impact till now, or they have been through it, so how they can apply music and any other input that you have from your end.
Actually, I also read some researches, and I had some of the patients who came to our institution in Kolkata got admitted for COVID, and hence sir was introducing music to them. So what they used to do there is they used to see in case of COVID treatment, until and unless you are having any problem with your lungs, so you are on the safer side. You will be on the medication, and you will be on you continuous observation. So this medication and continue, but people are not at all coming near to you. So what he did is he have put a big speaker over there in that ward, and he is asking people to message him from phone which song you want to listen now, and he's taking a poll, and according to the poll, whichever song is gaining more hands up or anything, he's playing that music. So it became a game for that ward. So whoever gave more vote to the song, that song will be played. So in that case, they got involved in the process. So always thinking it is so fatal, this COVID. So whether you are on that side or not, you start thinking about it a lot. What will happen to me next day? Whether I will deteriorate or not? Whether I will go back home quickly? These are the things which were affecting people a lot who got hospitalized. So they have worked in Calcutta in this way, by applying music to them in this way, and also those who were isolated in one room, they try to give them music in the morning, make them listen to music in the morning. I'm telling, give them as if they are given tablets. So it was listening to music in the morning, listening to music in the evening and at night. And also always they used to play some musical instruments so that they feel calm, they can have a good sleep. So if they are sleeping, they will not palpitation will be less. They'll not think about all the pros and cons of this COVID, and hence this was the strategy taken by that hospital. But coming down to how people who are affected at homes, I had some of my friends here who got affected, family members also who got affected. What I suggested them was, when they are at home quarantine, and it becomes very difficult, especially for the parents when they are not able to meet the children. If the child is not affected but both the parents are affected, it became very difficult. So I asked them to play Antakshari from both the rooms. So whatever the child used to sing from this room, the mom and dad used to reply with the, how Antakshari goes with the last alphabet you end. So in that way, or you can play music in that way also. Instead of singing, you just play a song from that room and this room. Hence they feel connected also, and it helped them to at least channelize some of the emotions. And continuously, I am so against of this news channels, they were pouring in so much negative news. So it was also increasing their anxiety a lot, what will happen. And if something happens, and the way the news readers speak, no, they give more and more terror into that. So I asked them, I especially ask people not to watch news nowadays. It's better to go for an half an hour headline, that is enough to know about the nation, or to read newspaper. But if you're at all listening to it, so I felt this was the way how they can relate. And if you ask me what genre of music worked well in case of this COVID-19 affected patients, so I would say that more people wanted to listen to music which they like. So I didn't suggest anyone anything what to listen and not, and I didn't do any study on people who were affected with the COVID. But this was the procedure which I asked to some of my near and dear ones to stay connected with their child. So in the evening time or in the night time when they were free, but the mom and dad was not near them. So this is how I have come across this pandemic with music.
But ma'am, I can truly relate here because when even I was positive, isolated on a whole different floor, no one to contact, not even my furry friend, my doggo, no one was there. So music did, keep me, keep actually help me keep my spirits high. That okay, fine. And then, so the Antakshri idea I really, really loved. So yes, that's a good way to connect because when parents and kids are separated because of this pandemic, so it creates so much anxiety on both the sides. So I think this again will help them calm down. And sir is taking a great initiative, the poll, the music. And when you say they were given music, I think it still makes sense because music is a therapy, it's like a medicine on its own. So when you said it, the first thing that came to my mind was just like the food is given 2 to 3 times, music was
Actually,
also
that
given to
used to be the word which we used to use in hospitals when I used to work there. So sir used to ask us, "Did you give music?" So it was like tablet, whether you gave it or not, whether you applied music was not the word. So yes, and music is such a beautiful thing, no. Though we were given a certain sphere to work in hospital, we never worked in only that department. We started working in other departments also. So overtime we used to do in hospitals. So it's such a beautiful thing if you can relate to it, and if you start working, people get relieved so easily with music so quickly. So you get confident, yes, so this person is well now, that person is, so let me apply on the other person also. So that happens with music therapy is what I have seen in my career.
true, ma'am. Sometimes even when I feel distressed, all I need is, I don't want anything. I just want music, and it automatically does make you feel a lot better. And now that I know that I should be listening more to the nature calling music, which does not have lyrics or instrumental or classical, so I'll definitely apply it and request our viewers to do the same. And I hope and I believe that there are definitely positive changes that will follow us through. So thank you so much, Gitashree ma'am, for enchanting us and empowering us with your knowledge, which you have always done. And nothing has changed a bit, nor neither your sweet smile nor the knowledge that you have. So it means a lot. Thank you so much for taking time for us and helping our viewers, especially parents and kids, to know how music can work as a therapy and how they can enjoy their benefits. So thank you so much.
My pleasure, Anjali, to get connected to you.
Thank
It was
you.
so nice.
Yes.
So nice talking to you after long year, long time.
Yes, ma'am.
And that too on our favorite topic, music therapy, which is so common between you and me.
Yes, ma'am. That is the point of connection between the two of us. So yes.
Yes.
I also wrote a bye-bye song for our viewers. Viewers, please don't leave. As of now, listen to my bye-bye song. Okay. Let's sing it. I'm very bad at singing, so I would like you to take the lead, please.
No, please carry on. I will follow you. I'll follow you.
We hope you loved our session. Now it's your time to apply music to your life. Remember to listen to more instrumental music. Thank you. So yes.
You sang.
I hope.
I'll follow you. You kept on singing. I couldn't follow.
Shall
So
we
good.
do it?
Well done, Anjali. Very sweet of you. So well.
I'm learned by you. I hope our viewers will also take a note, and now they'll, I think, start running away because they know that the bye-bye song is there. And sorry, but if you want, we can redo it so that you can also join me in the singing.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, one more time. All right, viewers, don't keep
one line and pause so that I will sing.
Okay. All right, fine. That is the best way. Okay. First time learning. Okay. So we hope you loved our session.
We hope you loved our session.
Now it's your turn to apply music to your life.
Now it's your turn to apply music to your life.
Remember to listen more of instrumental music.
Remember to listen more of instrumental music.
Now, bye bye.
Oh, bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Nice.
Now, already
You
feeling.
recollected my memories of 10 years back with the small kids.
Thank you to our loyal viewers for staying with us. Wishing you a lot of happiness and good health. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Anjali.